everyone. This is Edge with Maverick Currencies, and welcome to your Monday recap. All right, so we are going to do our usual thing here where we talk about what happened in the news over the weekend and during this trading day. We'll take a look at technical analysis for the currency baskets and see what's coming up this week for news, and then we'll see if there's any setups that are looking interesting.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So let's take a look at what happened in the news over the weekend and then today. So we had the Iran headlines dominating the news over the weekend. The headlines tilted negatively initially as Trump threatened to hit Iran very hard, I'm putting that in quotes, while the negotiations were going on. But ultimately, after a meeting in Switzerland, both sides signaled progress. The S&P did close down slightly, however, showing that there is still some uncertainty there, but that was also a story of tech sell-off. The other big news that came out this morning was that the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, resigned. And this might have looked like it came as a little bit of a shock. However, the sterling dipped initially, but it rallied by the end of the day, and it was actually the biggest gaining currency of the day at 0.34%. So it looks like the markets already had this priced in on Friday, so it wasn't a shock to the system today. China retaliated on sanctions of U.S. defense companies. So today, China announced sanctions on 10 American military-related companies in response to a recent U.S. move that bars some leading Chinese tech companies from defense contracts. This adds another layer to the ongoing U.S.-China trade and tech tension, the narrative that's been hovering over the markets for quite some time now. Taking a look at the baskets, the USD is the second strongest on the board today after the pound. And that was kind of a carryover from the Fed's hawkish June 17th hold, still working its way through the market. They held on interest rates. On the flip side, the Kiwi was the biggest loser at minus 0.26. The Kiwi got hit from both directions, the dollar being very strong and the soft Kiwi GDP print last week that missed the RBNZ zone forecast. So now markets are pricing in fewer rate hikes out of New Zealand this year, and it's kind of taking the wind out of the Kiwi. There's also the relationship between Aussie and Kiwi with Chinese commodities, so that's in the mix also. Looking at broader markets, the Dow was down just slightly, and again, that was primarily a tech sell-off that we saw today. That was mainly in NASDAQ, but it brought down the other markets except for the Dow. Crypto was actually up 1.48%. Still don't think that crypto looks like it's worth getting into, but it did have an up day. Gold was up 0.78, and oil, on the good news coming out of Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, oil dropped by 3.19%. In the crypto world, Bitcoin, all of them were up. Litecoin was lagging behind. But again, I don't see any of these as being in the territory to look at buying them. A lot of them are doing low bases or possibly a little bit of a rally, but not showing any signs of being a buy. Looking at the broader market outlook here, the S&P, as I said, did have a little bit of a down day. It was kind of a volatile day, not a big swing, but it did start creeping up, drop back down again. But the market's being essentially at a zero, not showing signs of being bullish or bearish, just in a wait and see pattern right now. Let's take a look at the economic news. So today we had CAD with a CPI print that was positive. Actually, it was above the forecast. So that would explain why, even though oil prices dropped, the CAD was still showing some strength. Usually those two are correlated, or I should say often they're correlated, not always. But we did see CAD strength, we did see CAD strength even though oil prices were down slightly. Coming up tomorrow and Wednesday, we have quite a bit of news coming out of Australia with unemployment rate and CPI. Taking a look at what all this is going to print at. So the Aussie should see some pretty good volatility in the middle of this week. And then on Thursday, we have core price index and the final GDP numbers quarter over quarter. Velocity score broke down like this. We had Aussie, dollar, the CAD, and the pound all showing very strong upward velocities. So they're all sitting at +3 along with Bitcoin. And then showing strong downward pressure, Kiwi, Euro, and Swiss franc. Now, again, these are not trend scores. This is a velocity score, as in what happened throughout the day.
Would having more trading capital help you meet your trading goals? Maverick Currencies is the oldest US-based Forex and crypto prop firm. We fund traders just like you with 5- and 6-figure accounts where you keep 70 to 80% of profits. Click the apply link on the top right of this video to start the process. This will take you to a 4-minute video that explains the trader position, and you can read a list of FAQs that answer pretty much all the basic questions you have. After that, if you're interested, fill out an application, and then you'll watch the full-length recruiting video and schedule an interview with our recruiters. Are you our next trader?
You still have to take a look at the larger picture of what the trend score would look like on this. Let's take a look at some possible trades. So in going through the trades or the currencies that we had listed on the velocity score, comparing all the +3s and comparing the -3s to find out which ones are truly the strongest and the weakest, my analysis showed that the pound Kiwi is going to be our best bet for looking at trades. The pound is the strongest one on the day, that and the dollar, and the Kiwi definitely showed the most weakness out of any of the other currencies. So looking at pound Kiwi, you can see that we have a good push up for velocity, showing upward momentum there, and just this big bullish candle coming out that printed today. And that's on the daily chart, of course. So we do have a little bit of possible resistance here at the 2.32 level. I think that we still could have pretty good movement, especially with a big daily candle like this, that we're going to see some retracement possibly. And then I would look for a confirmation to get in and then start watching it for that 2.32 level. If we want to take a look at Kiwi dollar, same thing in reverse. So big downward momentum on the velocity. 4 days of downward movement, showing the dollar's strength. I'd like to see this come back up towards the moving averages before I look at getting in. So, I'm looking at a retracement level, someplace in the someplace long in through here at the 0.576, 0.577 range, and we'll start watching it for a change in direction there. I'd like to see it come back up. As Rob says, don't try to catch the falling knife. These are also opportunities with the pound Kiwi and the Kiwi dollar that you can also do some legging in or pyramiding on these trades. Okay, wrapping this all up. So we should see some more exciting trading happening in the middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday. So some opportunity coming up there, especially with the 2 days of Aussie news coming out. So we'll have to watch that Aussie volatility. Keep an eye on the peace talks with Iran. It's just such a volatile situation where it sounds like it's going good, but you're hearing negative things on the U.S. side. It keeps going back and forth, and then you toss in Israel and Lebanon, and even though peace talks have been initiated, uh, the situation could switch very quickly. So just keep an eye on that when you're planning out your trades. And of course, as always, proper position sizing, one of the most important things in trading. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great week trading. Take care, everyone.